So what you want to do is to find the file called copy this, open it. Depending on your system, you might have to extract it or not. If you have WinRAR or Windows 7, you can use that to extract. Double click to open if you're using Windows 8 or higher, or if you have Power ISO or anything on your system that can extract ISO files. Inside it, you should find these two files, WD Express and the folder called packages. Double click WD Express to open the file. Then it should launch this interface. Depending on your system, this might take seconds or minutes. And then this window shows up. All you have to do is just agree to the terms. I hope you're following. All you have to do is agree to the terms and click on install. Then accept this prompt window. Then the installation process starts. And then I'll have to pause recording here so that this installation process will finish. Okay, so our software has been installed successfully. We'll click on launch. Yes, click on launch. So you should see this beautiful welcome screen. It's still loading up. So to find where your software is on the system, it should be somewhere down here. Visual Studio, whatever here. Okay, should be inside Microsoft Visual Studio 2012. For it not to run away, just like it runs away for some people. Yep. I pinned this to taskbar. Don't worry, it is still launching. I'm just trying to make it more accessible for me. The app is still launching. Yes, it will take that much time. Click on launch. You have 2 layers on your system. Okay, awesome. Mine is still launching. Okay, so this is Visual Studio 2012 Express for Windows Desktop. Note that the most recent version is Visual Studio 2017. The reason we are using this is because most of our systems are not compatible with that software. That is the only reason we are using this. So it's advisable to upgrade your system, use the latest software. I won't say more than that. Now, what will we be using this software for? We want to learn how to program in C#, as I usually call it. C#. Yes.
That is application.
So, hold on. We want to learn to program 2016 is the latest. Don't mind, anything on this system is the latest. Just don't worry about it. Even the power bank. Just kidding. Okay, so we want to learn C#. Why do we need to learn C#? Because it's not the only good language that is out there to learn. There's Java, there's C++, there's JavaScript, there's Python, there's Visual Basic, there's F#, there's lots of them that I don't even know that exist. So why learn C#? C# is one of the top languages in the world, that's no doubt. And it's one of the most productive. Why? With C#, I can program for every device on this table. Windows, tablet, phone, Android, iOS with C#, using Xamarin and stuff like that. I can even program for the web using HTML and C# as my backend code. It's very productive. I won't say it's easy to learn, but it's productive to learn. Once you know it, you feel like you're Superman of all languages. C# is developed by Microsoft, of course. It's part of the .NET framework languages. Inside the .NET framework languages, we have F#, we have VB, and then we have C#. C# is the most used, of course, and it's what most enterprises use: banks, telecommunication industries, oil industries, and organizations like that. So having a knowledge of it will go a long way in helping you to be a better programmer. You can decide tomorrow you are not programming C# anymore, but the knowledge you have from C# will enable you learn other languages very much faster. Because once you know one language, to learn another one is not that hard. It's just that I'm too lazy to learn another language. That's why I'm not learning another language. Just like speaking English and the language and learning another language like that. It's nothing really that special. So this is what we'll be learning. And then to program C#, it's best we are learning something from Microsoft, use a tool from Microsoft. So Visual Studio 2012, well, I'll call it Visual Studio from now on, or VS.
I have a problem here. I have like 3 files. WRAR 550, Visual Studio, the ISO file, and copy this.
Copy this.
Copy this. They copy this. Yes.
Copy that.
But the copy this is the ISO file.
Yes.
Oh, yes. You click on it.
Copy on it to start installing.
You copied it, copy it to your system first.
Okay.
That's why I didn't use copy this. Then install it. Okay, so okay, to get started, you first write the first program basically everybody normally writes, every beginning programmer. I'm not saying you've not been coding since, but this is where the work begins for real life programming. So let's get started. To start, pretty much simple. I go on and start a new project. I need to do a lot of copy here. Alright, so I'll just click on new project from this left hand toolbar side, and then it brings me this window. You can see I have options of programming in Visual Basic, which I'm of course not doing. There's option for C++, option for C#. C# is what I'm going for. And then we will start with writing a console application. This is what I did. I clicked on new project, selected C#, and then selected console application. The next thing I want to do is give my application a name. So instead of this, I'll put HelloWorld. Note, my H is capital, my W is capital. When we get to naming conventions, we'll understand better why I'm putting this capital and this also capital. It's like the normal thing to do. I'll explain more as we go deeper. Alright, once I'm done typing that, I click on OK. and then it goes through the process of creating the project for me.
Just HelloWorld.
HelloWorld, yes.
No dots.
No dots. If you did what you were supposed to do, you are supposed to see a screen just like this.
Right.
Exactly like this. Okay, now. Let me try to make this text larger, but for you, you can leave it the way it is. Let me turn it to 200%. All right. Now, to write your first program is pretty easy. Normally, for a start, let me even undo everything I did. For a start, you have this text staring at you. What you want to do is that after this static void main string rubbish, you go over here, you see a curly bracket starting and ending, you press enter to have a line in between them, and then you type the following. Type exactly what I typed. Console dot write line. Type exactly this.
In bracket, that's HelloWorld.
Yes, exactly what I typed. Are we all done typing? No, it's not screensaver, it's just normal screen time launch. No, I don't use screensavers. Okay. If we have done this, and we click, now watch what I do. It's very important from now on. Yes, then you type exactly what's on the screen. You go up here, you see this play button up here.
Yes.
Click on it, and then if you see this show up to you, a black window with a white text. Did you see it? What did you see inside there?
HelloWorld.
Hello world. Now press enter on your keyboard. Press enter on your keyboard and it goes away. Congratulations, you just wrote your first line of code.
Not all of us.
No, everybody will get there.
But
Now, one thing you should not forget from now on is that this language is not as forgiving as HTML. It is not forgiving at all. Make an error, you gotta fix it. It will not even run. You have to find that error and fix it. Sometimes it will be warnings. Warnings are still kind of good. But if you turn to error, you have to find that error and fix it. When we get to the part of finding errors, yes, we will solve it. But right now, try not to make any errors, because if you start making errors from the beginning, what you find you get into writing that software in 5 years' time, that is the way you're making errors. So let us analyze this program. As I said earlier on, C# is part of the Microsoft.NET family of languages. I think C# was launched back in 2001 or 2002. I'm not too sure. As part of the .NET family, Visual Basic has existed long before that. And then F# came after C#. So C# is very mature. Right now, C# is in version 7.0. C#1, C#2, 3, 4, 5, and C#7. And then most times, with every release of Visual Studio comes a new release of the C# language. And C# is open source. What does open source mean? Open source means that every person can contribute to making that language better. So the source code is open and free for everybody to use. So as you grow in your programming life, you'll be hearing plenty words: open source, scalable, efficient, all those kind of things. Don't be scared, they are just words. So C#, as I said, is very robust and good, and it's part of the .NET family of languages. I'll need something to really work is growing just like C#. Right now, .NET framework now is in version 4.6.5, I think, or 4.6.2, I'm not too sure. And then there's .NET 4, the open source version of .NET, which means that .NET 4 runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux operating systems, all the same, and it's very scalable and things like that. So, the next thing I want to walk us through is the C# project itself, not this code yet, because you have to understand it. Now, if you open your documents folder on your laptop, we'll do that together. Open my documents, wherever your documents are on your laptop. Go to your documents folder. You should see a folder called Visual Studio 2012. Yes. You see a folder called Visual Studio 2012. Open that folder up, and then you see about 7 items. The folder you are most concerned with is this project folder. Open it. Open the HelloWorld folder. Open it again. And then you see 6 items. That's 3 files, 3 folders. And then if you right click on this HelloWorld.cs proj file, you don't have to worry about it anyway. I just want to show us a little bit of things about it. Open it with Notepad or any note editor you like. Well, I'll open it with Visual Studio Code since we like it that much. So what does it contain? The CS proj file contains everything about this application. It contains the name, the .NET framework it is using. On this laptop, it is targeting .NET framework 4.5. You have not opened it?
Yes.
You have to be very fast now.
Yes, but open it.
I do not understand the laptop. You have installed one fake software. But don't worry, you don't really need this section. So you just go down, and you find all those things. Let's not worry ahead about that. It's not really that important, so don't worry about it. So inside this project folder is where most of your work will be. If you create a new project, let's say you create a new project called addition, it will be inside here. You create a new project and things like that, it will always be inside here. Now, the next thing we have to understand is the concept of solutions and projects. If I go back inside Visual Studio, on this far right hand side up here, I can see that I have, please let us concentrate, this part is very important. You have solution here. The solution is called HelloWorld, and then it has one project inside it, and this is the project HelloWorld. So inside the solution I can add another project. I can say add new project. I can add another console application, say let me call that HelloWorld 2 or Hello2. Let me just call it that way. And then we see that this solution has changed to 2 projects, and we have this HelloWorld project and this Hello2 project inside it. So as we go on, we can have multiple projects inside the solution. If I open my Visual Studio folder and I open this HelloWorld project, I will see that I have 2 folders and then one .sln file. That is the file that defines the solution. It defines the project this solution contains. So, but not to worry much about it, we won't be using much of it right now. So what I can do now, I'll just delete this Hello2 project because we really don't need it. So we'll come back and focus on this. Okay. Now, before we analyze our program to understand what it really means, we have to understand where we are working inside. Visual Studio is a very robust platform. I said earlier, you can code many different languages in it. If you open Visual Studio 2017, the most recent one, it contains things like programming mobile applications, programming web applications, and things like that. But inside here, let's just understand a little bit of what it does. So, here we are working. It's called our editor window, where you can type text. And up here to the right is your solution explorer, where you have a list of projects and solutions you are working on. And then coming down here, you have the properties window. When you get to graphical user interface applications, you will understand more about this. You can also auto-hide some things, and then it collapses to this right hand side. You can click it to open it up and things like that, but don't worry about that yet. And then also on this left hand side, you have your toolbox. When you start doing graphical user interface applications, you will see that things will show up here for you that you can always add to your application. We hope we get there in good time. And then up here, Explorer, you can open an existing project if you're working. Let's say, for example, let us close Visual Studio. Let us close Visual Studio. Let us close everything we've been working on. So we go ahead and open up Visual Studio again. That's 2012. And then on this left hand side, we can see the recent projects we have worked on. HelloWorld, Hello2, blah blah blah. And then we can open a project here. But let's say we started working on something already, and then we want to open another project. We can always go here and say File, Open Project. Realize that on this right hand side, let me go back. On this right hand side, you have some shortcuts you can always use. Familiarize yourself with it to make your life easier. Your mouse click should be shorter if you do this. So you can open a project and say, okay, I want to open this HelloWorld, and then I want to open this. And then it goes ahead and open up the application for us. And then we are back to where we are. So let me go back to my zoom level of 200%. Now, the next now to show us is breakpoints. What are breakpoints? Just like if you ever played, I don't know if you played Mario before. Is it Mario or Contra now? Where you have a place you get in the game that at that point, even if they kill you above that level, you can always come back to that place. Checkpoints, thank you. So these are like checkpoints in applications. So on every line, you can always put breakpoint that, okay, when this application is running, when it gets to this point, I should see what is happening. So let us just see how it works in real life. All you have to do is just click on this gray window on this side. On that line, you go ahead and click it. To remove it, you click it again. And then it goes away. So let's see how it works. Let us run this application. And then the application runs, and then it shows us our window again. Note that this black window is still active, but it brought us back into our code. That means on this line, we want to see what is happening in the application. We can mouse over it, do all kinds of things. When we get to debugging and things, I will show us more about this. And so that's that about breakpoints. I wouldn't want to stress us much about it. The next thing I want to show us now is the concept of intelligence. You will see that as we were typing, suggestions were coming to us. They are very helpful, and they make us lazy sometimes also. As I was typing, we were doing console, let me just zoom in. And then you see that Instead of me having to type all these words, I can just press enter and then it completes the word for me. And I say WR, it brings suggestions for me. I scroll down to it, I click enter, and then it reduces the number of typings I have to do also. So as we keep on writing our code, we'll experience more of this. Let me verify. Wow. And there's a part of shortcuts also. But I don't want to bother us much with it now. If I type CW and I press tab twice, it's completed that statement for me. But don't worry about it now. It's one of the newest features. As you program, you get used to it a lot. There's another point where it can complete a whole lot of lines for us without having to do much. But don't let's worry about that for now. We'll get there as time goes by. Another thing that is very essential is the shortcuts we use in Visual Studio. Shortcuts are very, very, very important. Well, you can ignore them, of course. If you go here, you can see some shortcuts you can always use. Save file, open, and the edit. You can always do things. As you progress, you will know more. But the ones you should always do, Ctrl-Shift-N, start a new project. Ctrl-Shift-N, start a new project. Ctrl-Shift-O, opens a new project. Ctrl-Shift-B builds your project. Build, as it compiles it together. Then F5 runs your application. Yep. Then on your system, it will be function F5 you will press. Can you stop debugging? Stop. Press the red button. Last stop button. Yeah. Try pressing F5. No. Close this one. Make sure it's on program. Yeah. Try F5. Remove the breakpoints. Try F5. So the only will function F5. Yeah, your keyboard is special. Okay. So F5 runs your application in debug mode. F5 runs the application in debug mode. Now, depending on your keyboard, you might have to press function to add to F5. If your keyboard is special, like we people using HP, some HPs don't have that problem. It's just the most recent HPs that actually do that. The old HPs don't have any problem. Just press your F5 and you're able to go. If F5 runs your application in debug mode, debug mode means that you want to solve problems in your application. That means if it turns to an error, it tells you the line where the error is. Instead of crashing, it tells you there's an error. You try to fix the error and things like that. The next shortcut is very important is you can decide to run your application without debugging. The only thing to do to add to your F5 is just press Ctrl, then F5. It runs the application in no debug mode. That means if there's any error, it just crashes and goes away. But we don't want to do that most times. So that's one other shortcut. I thought that shortcut might be important. But as we progress, I'll be using them and telling us more about them. Let's not waste time on that. Another thing now is comments. Using comments in your C# application. Now, as you grow in programming, you will not be the only one that will be reading your code. Even if you are the only one. If you come back to your code after 2 years, will you understand it? That's a question you usually get asked. So, one good practice is to always comment your code to know what it does and then understand it better. So, to comment your code, not that hard really. We have different kind of comments. We have multiline comments and single line comments. We can have comments that are just meant for one line, and we have comments that go multiple lines. Single line comments just go like this. You have 2 forward slashes, and then you type this is a comment. So, no, let me just say this is a single line comment. Single line comment. So you realize I can start typing my code on the next line and then nothing happens. But if you realize when I run this application, that comment will never show because the compiler will never compile it. It's just compile the things that are program essential. So, and then we also have the multi-line comments. Now this is how that looks like. You have a /, then you have an asterisk, and then to end it, just like that. What did I do wrong? Now, the slash and asterisk, they immediately follow each other. If there's a space in between them, there will be trouble. You can see there's a squiggly line here. It means there's an error. Your program will never run this way. So make sure when you are typing, be patient enough. No spaces when you are writing those symbol characters and say this is a multi-line comment. This is line 2 of my multi-line comment. Enjoying line 3. So as you keep on pressing enter, it keeps on creating more lines like that, and then on and on you go. There's another kind of comment which is not mostly used by most programmers. That's the, I don't even know what name to call it. All you have to do is your press 3. Oh, it doesn't work here really. Okay, I think it works in most recent versions of Visual Studio, so I won't have to worry us about it right now. So single line comments and multi-line comments, take note of them. Let's say you have multiple lines of comments you want to write, use the multi-line comments generally. Okay, so now I think we should rest our brains more. I've been providing us with information. The next thing we want to touch on now is the concept of data types. Now, in Nigeria, we have different tribes, but we are people. It's all from Nigeria. This is a good example to use. Maybe we have Igbo, Yoruba outside the middle tribes. Then we have the other more than 200 tribes. That's a bad example to use. I'll try another one. Let me just go straight to the point. In programming, we represent many things with different things. For example, what we have inside here. Oh, before I even go to that, we have not finished our analysis. Now, console. Yeah, this console is part of the system class. Now, when we started coding, we realized there are all these using this, using this, using this, using that. What we call it in C# means directives. It means we are using some properties that C# already has to offer us, like system collections, but don't mind all of this. What we are using mostly is in the system namespace. We call this thing namespace. And then our program, it starts normally with a namespace. That's HelloWorld. Most times, it's generally the name of the product you are developing or the company developing it or something like that. And then generally followed by the class. Then program, of course, will have to go there. Normally, if you had another class inside there, let's say hello class or something, that will be what we'll have here, but it's following the name of this thing to be here. We'll explain more as we go deeper. And then we have this thing called the main method. Now, what we have inside there is called arguments. We get more to that when we start treating methods in details. Now, we call this a method. Anything that has these two brackets and then has these braces following it is called a method. Now, console.writeLine is also a method that takes in a string as an argument. We'll get more into that later on. Don't worry about it. I just want to let us know that console is part of this system namespace. developed by .NET. So normally, if someone was to reference our own program to, we'll probably say HelloWorld.main, because that's our namespace. So it'll be something using HelloWorld, and they say main.do this, do that. But don't let's worry about that. We get more into those details later on. So, as I was saying earlier on now, what this instruction does for us is that black window we saw is called the console. On Mac we call it terminal, on Linux they also call it terminal. But on Windows we call it console or command line interface, whatever other name that exists. So, it says that this console should write a line out that contains this text that says hello world. As simple as that, nothing special to it. Then when we run it, it compiles and then gives us the output hello world. The reason why we normally have this is so that our app won't run away. It's not like it's necessary. What happens is that it has given us the output. The next thing is to just terminate. That's why it's run away on some people that do not put this line. So this is just to make the program so we can see the outputs. We can always ignore it as we go deeper and deeper. But let's always just put it there if we're in the console application. So now, let's now write on to data types. What I'll do, instead of creating a new project, I'll just call this intro, and I'll create a new section and say data types. What I'll do here is that I'll comment this out. So let's deal with data types. Now, data types are data types helps us define variables in our programs. Like we have in normal life, we have alphabets and numbers. We have ABC, we have symbols, then we have numbers 1, 2, 3, and all like that. The same thing applies in programming. So in programming also we have different types of data, just like in English we have alphabets and numbers. The first one I'd like to introduce us to is called the integer type. Now let me increase this zoom to 250. That's the integer type. What it does is that it represents numbers, whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also negative numbers, of course. So in programming, in English language, to declare numbers, you have to write it down. But in programming, especially in C#, we have to declare it this way. Let's say this. So my number is equal to 1.
So the capitalization of n must be there in front of us.
Now, we haven't actually gotten to naming conventions, but we'll get there. We'll get to naming conventions after this. Let me put naming conventions immediately after this. Just hold on a bit. Generally, I just run my own naming style. Normally in C#, this is how you name. Or let's just treat naming conventions just right now. Now, in C#, you name by what we call camel casing. You see, this goes like the back of a camel. Capital. The words name starts with capital letters, and if you have two words joined together, you have capital letter. Then the next word that you join together starts also with the capital letter. But mind you, there should be no space. You put one space and tell your program is trash. As simple as that. So you see that here I have int my number equals 1. I have M as capital, N also as capital. You can see here also, everything starts with capital, program starts with capital, main starts with capital. Variables in C# normally are camel cased. Camel, capital, then capital. If you want to join things together and you don't want to make it this way, you can try this, but it's generally not the best idea in C#. It's advisable to always have it this way. So, if I now say console should write line my number, I should always remember to put this so that my program will not run away. Oh, read line, sorry. I could put it here also, but let's just put it this way. So if I run this, the output I should see should be 1. If everything goes on fine, you can see 1 here. Let's say I go ahead and change this value to 1,000, 10,000, sorry. If I go ahead and change it to 10,000, I will see it right over here. So whatever value I have assigned to this my number is what will come out.
That's my number. Can you use another way?
I can use any name. I can call it.
But in that case, that's one.
It's advisable it is in that case.
Okay.
Remember, when I was even calling it, it's the same name. If I say small m here, it will never be. C# is what we call a case-sensitive language. If you miss one capitalization or pluralization, everything gets messed up. So, remember when you are doing your naming, to always follow. So it's advisable that, of course, you know that you call this my number. On top of it, you know the first M is capital, N is capital. So when you are calling the name in another place, you call it the right way. So let's say now the next data type you want to create will be the string, and you declare it this way. Now strings represent characters. So I will say string, my string equals, let's just put this as my name. Note that I put this in quote marks. Numbers can stay on their own, but characters must be quoted, just like this, in double quotes to be precise. Alright, so if I want to output this, I just say console.writeLine, and I say my string. If I run this now, I can see it now. So let me call this figures string. The next data type that is very important is the double. DOUBLE. Now those are decimal numbers. So I can now declare it as say double. Let's say 10.25 digits is that. And I say console dot, console.writeLine my double. If I run this now, I should see 10.234355. Now we are progressing. Yes, double is the next data type.
that 10.2, you're the one that wrote it.
I'm the one that put it, yes.
And so does not use anything smaller than it.
Huh?
You can use anything smaller.
Yes. Now we'll get to the part where we accept input from users, but let's not worry about that for now. All numbers, and these are characters. Numbers, decimal. Yeah, let's just call it decimal. Okay. Generally, these are the three most important data types that you get to use most often. There are other very important ones, but these are the main ones we'll focus on for now. So let me go on and say now, what is the essence of a program that does not accept inputs? Nothing. Now, let us accept input from our users. But before we do that, let us just write this down so that we'll be up to speed. What to tell us is to have line numbering, because it always helps. You realize this code just goes on and on. You don't know what line number you're on. So what you want to do is to show line number. So we go up here to the top right hand side of this program here. There's a place where you can search for things. So just search for line number. This place helps a lot. Line number. And then we want to make line number show in our application. So what I will do now is check this box. Once I'm done checking the box, the number of lines we've written so far will show. So for some of us, for me, I only have 40 lines of code written so far. I don't know about you. So we can try this out also. Just go up here to this quick launch area, type line number, click the option that shows up, and then make sure this button is checked. That's all you need to do. And then your line number should show up. Okay. So you can put whatever string you want here. But I'll let us. The next thing I want to do now. Yeah, I commented them out because I know I'm sure. Is to accept inputs from the computer. How do we do that, basically? Remember we've treated integer, double, and string. So we're accepting those three different kinds of inputs now. So, how do we do this? Pretty simple. Let's just declare let's just deal with integer. We declare our integer of number input. That's the input we are requesting. Just give it a name. You can give it any name you like. So the next thing you want to do is accept that input from the user. What you just do is say number input is equal to. Now, no, we don't assign it a value here. We need to accept something from the computer. So we say int dot pass. You have to see this. You have to stop everything you're doing and watch this. Now it says int dot pass. Now what does this int dot pass do? What it does is that generally anything that comes from the computer is seen as a string. So what int.pass does is that it converts that string into an integer value. So if you are accepting double, say double.pass. If you are accepting character, you say some other thing. But for integers, you need to pass that string value, convert it to an integer. So what this int.pass does for us is that it converts that input into a number and then stores it on the computer. So we now say int.pass console.read line. Now, one thing I forgot to tell is that every line of code in C# ends with a semicolon. You miss one semicolon, all your program turns to trash. As I said earlier, C# is not as forgiving as HTML or CSS. Because C# is used to make mission critical, life critical applications. You can't just mess it up anyhow. That's why that's not why it's elastic anyway. It's just meant to be that perfect. So remember, the same console.read line that does not make our program run away is what we are doing here. What actually happens when we press enter is that we inputted a new line and then the system goes away. The app goes away. But what happens here is that we enter a number and we press enter. That means anything that is on that line gets transformed into an integer and then assigned to number input. So let's say we enter 57. 57 as a string converts to an integer and stores it as number inputs. So let's see what happens when we call on number input to be printed. Okay? So let us run that. And let's see what shows up. Now, it is just blinking, nothing happening. But we now entered a number. And see that number printed out for us the same way. But let us make this more user friendly because of course we can't just see a blank screen and then look at it like, what am I supposed to do here? So let's try to make this a little bit more fun. It's right somewhere here. Okay, so what I want to do now is say, I of course want my user to see something. Now, this is not compulsory. It is just me being friendly to my user. I tell the user to enter a number. And then I tell the user that, now, I'm introducing a new concept here. I say, now, this, let me not do this yet. Let me say, $. Now, I'm not trying to scare us here. Does this work? It does not work in this IDE. Sorry. Very sorry, it does not work here. But another thing that could work is let me first verify if that still works. Okay, it works. So this is what happened. So what I'm writing out here, I could have written out anything here. I said you have entered this, and then I put a value inside. I put this thing, this bracket. Note the kind of brackets I am using. They are very important for specific purposes. I use this bracket, the don't even know. Okay, these are parentheses and these should become brackets. I don't know. I'm not that good in English characters. Okay, but realize I put 0 inside here. Now, when I saw us in the morning, I said I'm starting something from number 0. You can remember. Now, in C#, generally, most non-brains, most programmatic non-brains start from 0. Don't take it word for word, just have a back of your head at random. So what happens is that, let's say I put 1 inside here. Let's see what happens. Normally, something bad should happen to this program. I said something bad should happen to it. It said unhandled exceptions. We get to this part later on. Let's just don't worry about it. Let's stop processing this. What happens is that this thing, starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, up to whatever, it matches anything you put after this quotation mark and comma. It means it's starting to read values that number. Let's say we have another thing here. Let's say number input plus 1. And then we put this of 1 here. What normally happens, what will happen here is that we'll have 234 and then we have 235 as our output. Let's see if I'm right. Now, let's try to understand what happened. What happened was that it outputted this string. Sorry. First outputted all this string. We first brought out all that output. And then it looked in everything that is in this method, in this right line method, and said there's number input that's a variable, it has a value of whatever design inputted. It assigns that value inside here, and then goes on, finds this also. But let's not worry about this right now. Let's still just put this here. So let's say we want to output different values, on and on and on. We want to output 10 different values. We can always output them this way. Another way, which is not that professional anymore, is that you could have added this way. Sorry. You could have added this same line of code this way and say you have entered, and then we have this. This is one way we could have done it also. But which one looks neater out of the two? The first one looks cleaner. Okay. Let me confuse us more. I was trying to be nice. Okay. I will increase it back, but don't worry. No, not compulsory.
That's your name. Okay,
that one inside the bracket. Okay, anything inside the bracket.
They don't be this.
I can tell you.
You must understand the concept. Don't you say it's just this pattern.
If you put anything in quotation now, you must turn to red.
That's the normal principle.
Now, typing this, let me make it have the proper C# spacing style. Good.
This one they don't get
So what happens here is that the concept we have here is called concatenation of values. You have entered this, and then this plus joins whatever is here to this, and then joins this to this, joins this to whatever it is already. It's the same thing that happens here, just that this goes on, find this value, input it, goes on, find this value, and put it here. There's no difference between it, but one is faster than the other. You just don't see it by the eyes. So let's run it and see what actually happens. It should give us the same thing, hopefully. Oh, it did not even give us the same thing. Which one is correct out of the two?
The second one is correct.
This is correct. Which is better? Which one of them is better now? The second one. Now, what would have happened normally is that you are trying to join an integer to a string. It will become a string. Normally. So, what happened was that it just joined one to a string. You can, just like mixing petrol and water, they do not mix. But they fill the same container.
Okay.
They are not of the same make. It's not the same component that is part of them. That's why it just tries to marry them together, put them together in one place. But what would have happened if we had converted that integer into a string? Where is this? So what could have happened is that we'll have this. We'll convert that integer into a string, and then the second one also will do the same thing. This is a very long thing, trust me. No, I'm just giving you options, Nee.
You need to know that yes.
You have to know the options you have and determine which one is better for you. So now these programs, both of these lines should output the same thing now. It's because you saw that one was shorter, you said it was the better one. That was what actually happened. Now we are correct. Now, which one is better now? Now,
I want to like understand
starting from that
how it went from the whole command like right line.
okay.
Starting from that integer number input, you need to understand what it is.
The first thing that happened is that we declared something. What happens normally when we declare variables in any programming language is that it goes to the memory of the system, most likely the RAM, creates a bucket of space, just like you have a crate of egg, but without eggs in it, expecting eggs to come inside. If you say, I declare an integer of number input, that's one egg. We create that space for an egg. Now, normally, an integer has the maximum amount of memory it can contain. I think it's about 127,864 something, bytes, or something like that. I've quite forgotten. The maximum value. It creates the maximum space for it in the memory of the computer. And then waiting for something to be put inside it. What happens here is that the normal output enter a number. It's just user friendly. One thing you also have to know when programming is consider your users. Of course, you are the one writing the program, determine what happens. But what's the essence of writing a program when your users don't understand it? That's one thing I try to teach as I teach programming to users. From the onset of you writing the program, write your program thinking like a user. Because you never know who might use that program. If it's someone that's probably 90 years old and you're like just saying a blinking line, what can I do with this one? Probably called the gate check. This computer has crashed. No, it has not crashed, but you did not tell the person what to do. That is why we have this. Enter a number. You realize that without it, I enter the number that time without it.
Yes.
So this is just for user friendliness. Enter a number, you enter the number. And then, you may understand how to this line now.
Yes.
Now, the next thing that happened, we're going to normal reproduction process that the male mates the female, and then we have the egg that won't put inside the cage. Now, this is the male, the cock, and this is the egg, the female. The male makes the female by injecting the spermatozoa into the egg. I hope you remember our biology. Then an egg is formed inside the ovary. And then the egg goes to the process and then is assigned and put inside the plate when egg is. So the process of this conversion is fast. If a cock makes a cow, nothing can happen. Of course. So if you put, let's say ABC in the console line, it will crash. Let's try it. We remember N is what we are trying. And we want to put a cow spermatozoa inside the chicken egg. We type this character. It's crashed. It will never work. So our input must always be what is needed. So what happens is that this input pass, it checks what is coming in. Is it from something of the same? Is this something I can process? If I can process it, I go ahead and put that inside the crate. But if I cannot process it, just crash. But when we get to the part of handling errors and things, I will explain to us how to handle that kind of error. That the apple just fly away like that. So what happens? N makes N, cock makes N, egg is produced, and then the egg is put inside that plate. Do you understand now? So now let's go to the next thing.
No, before you proceed,
Okay.
that's brackets that we have. It's up to two brackets.
Okay, now. I'll explain it more details when we get to methods and things like that. Now, read line is a method. Every method, when you call them, must have these two brackets at the end of them, compulsory. Now, inside these brackets, depending on whoever programmed it, they can accept more input or not. You see that it does pass is also something like console.line, but it has something inside it. Now, what we have inside this is called an argument or parameter, whichever name you decide to call it. So this in.pass takes whatever is inputted in the console as the parameter to process. So, but console.line takes a void value. That's why it's empty. Void, empty. It takes an empty value. There are some cases where it can take different kinds of values, void, string, integer. Just like our console.line, it's outputted string, no problem. Outputted integer, no problem. Outputted double, no problem. That's called, I want to get to object oriented concept. It's called, polymorphism. It can function in different forms. We'll get to that part later on. But console.line only functions, it only takes whatever is in the screen and then gives something to process it. It just garbage in, garbage out. Just like factory, trolley, or whatever. Just takes it, passes it up. So, just the same way it works here. You understand now? So, the next line, which is not the best. Now let's stop processing this. This next space, it says console.line. You understand this part already. So I will go to the part where we have the most important part of this. Remember, console.line is somewhere here. Then we have a string value, a very long one, that we are joining together. This is the string value. Remember, strings always have the position marks around them. And then we have number inputs. which is whatever was typed inside, and we press enter, whatever value that was there. And now this dot to string. What it does is that it converts the value we have to a character value. That means somewhere along the line, when we inputted this, the computer has converted that number and put double quotation mark around it for us in the computer, but we can't see it. That's what this dot to string does for us. Any value that exists in this code, any object, anything you declare, you can always use dot to string to see what it contains. We call it this floating now. Every object is something. One gets backward, and I'll try to remember. But right now, I can't seem to remember it. So, as long as you put dot to string here, if it's a double you have and I put dot to string, it will convert that value into a string. And then we have another string here. What this plus does is that it joins these strings together. We keep joining them, and it gives us a maximum output as you can see that very long one. But as I said, that is not the best method to explore because it's very good. It's like I think the first time I used this was in 2010 or so. But I don't tell you. The best method actually, this is not the best method also, but I couldn't use it in this IDE because it's pretty old. In 2017 I could use a better way of outputting this, but it has an error in this IDE. But I'll try to show us later or probably tomorrow what it looks like in the newest development environment. Now, I said IDE, I did not know what it means. IDE simply means integrated development environments. Now, Visual Studio is an example of an IDE. We have Android Studio, we have Eclipse, we have NetBeans, tons of them. But, as I say, I always defend my HelloWorld is the best. This is the best IDE you can ever have. Because it has a lot of things embedded inside it. That aside, let's continue. Now, what we call the best option to go is that we have everything we want to output is a string. And then remember what I said that console.writeline is polymorphosized. It exhibits polymorphism. Because it can function differently. It can either return content, return string, print out, void, print out many kinds of things. Realize here that after a connection of strings that we put together, here we are outputting different kinds of things that I can't even tell you what it is. So it says we have entered. Now, I've forgotten the name we call this. If I remember, I'll tell you. So what happens here is that it looks above this string that is here and checks if there are values after that string. If there is a value, it starts numbering from 0 normally. When we get to arrays, I will explain that more. So what it does is that it splits the first value, assigns the value of 0, of course, and then puts the value here. And then it goes on, an addition of this goes on and vanishes. If you have put 0 here, it will still use this number equals right here. If you put 2 here, you know I said it starts from 0, so it will go 0, 1, 2. There's nothing after this, that means it will crash.
If there's nothing?
If there's nothing, let's say I put 2 inside here. If it goes beyond this double quote and find this is 0, 1, there's nothing
After it.
There's nothing after that means there's nothing to find. It will crash. As simple as that. So this is C# 101.
Yeah, so